welcome back to my channel. If you've been keeping up with my channel, you've heard about how I started grad school this fall. In this video, I thought I'd share some tips about grad school based on what I've learned so far and compare both grad school and undergrad.
Hey Shalini, I recently started grad school too.
Oh hey Liz, would you like to share about your grad school experience with me?
Yes, that's a great idea. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Liz. I graduated in May 2020 with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and a Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics. Now I am a full-time PhD student studying computer science, and just like Shalini, I love sharing my computer science tips and experiences on my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be comparing the undergraduate experience with graduate school.
Let's get started. Number 1. The first difference between grad school and undergrad is that grad school has smaller classes as compared to undergrad. So I was at UC Berkeley for my undergrad as well, and it's a public university and the class sizes were huge. My Intro CS class had over 1,000 people in it, and a lot of my upper division classes had hundreds of people on average. And then I came to grad school, and the actual cohort itself is really small, and the actual classes have only 15 people in them. I go to Zoom classes, and there are 15 students and 1 professor, and everyone fits perfectly on a 4x4 Zoom screen. So the class sizes have been significantly smaller, but it's been a really great experience. I feel like I can actually get to know everyone in the class. The professor knows each student who's in the class, and it really helps to feel like a small, close-knit community. In general, the grad school experience is all about individualized learning, and there are a lot of resources to try and support everyone's unique goals.
Another difference between undergraduate versus graduate school is that you're not typically enrolled in as many courses in graduate school. I know for me, this semester, I'm only taking 3 classes, and during undergraduate, I definitely took 4 to 5 classes depending on the semester, and sometimes you have additional lab courses which add a lot of time to your schedule as an underclassman, but I am so happy that my schedule is a lot more manageable for graduate school.
The third main difference I've seen between grad school and undergrad is that grad school isn't about the grades, it's more about what you learn. Good grades are something to strive for, but everyone's main goal in grad school is to learn. That's the thing about grad school. Everyone chose to be there to learn more about that specific field. Everyone really cares about genuinely learning the concepts. It's more important to leave grad school knowing everything really well versus getting a 4.0 in your classes. For example, if you get a bad grade on an assignment in grad school, most people are more concerned with understanding the concepts behind those missed problems versus the actual numbers. The grades in grad school don't matter as much as compared to undergrad. In undergrad, everything is super assignment, attendance, midterm, final, project-based. And in general, there are just so many more things that have a grade attached to it. It can sometimes feel like the curve is against you, and some assignments are so ridiculously hard for no reason, just for the purpose of grades and the curve. Undergrads are typically more concerned with the grade aspect of a class, whereas grad students are more concerned with the learning that they get from the class.
One tip that I have for graduate school is to ask questions and be vocal. During my undergraduate classes, I had more students typically in each class, and now in graduate school, I have fewer students, which means I have to take the initiative, I have to come up with questions, and I have to be vocal in my class in order to get as much from it as I possibly can. So my advice is to ask questions and not be afraid to let your voice be heard.
Number 5 is working smarter, not harder, and in general being productive and managing your time well. This is a general lifestyle and productivity tip, but I think it's super relevant when it comes to grad school. Grad school is a lot of work, and on top of it, you might be working, you might be teaching, or maybe you just want to do something fun. To balance all of it, you want to be productive with your time and give each one of these things your 110%. Finding a balance while in grad school has been harder than it was in undergrad because it takes a different shape, especially during this pandemic. Finding a time to relax and decompress from everything requires more planning, but it's so important to integrate into your schedule. Also, it's important to keep in mind that not all learning happens in the classroom. Different programs have research requirements, internships, or projects during the program. Overall, just planning everything that you need to do and managing your time well in an appropriate way for you is so necessary. So you can do research and projects, attend class, do work for those classes, work and teach, keep up with your social life, and most importantly, maintain your sanity.
Another difference between undergraduate and graduate school is that in graduate school, financial independence and budgeting are more prevalent. So depending on your background, you may or may not have financial assistance while you are in college. Maybe you have loans, maybe your parents have helped you, maybe you work jobs to support your way through. But I know for me, I took a lot of adult steps after college so that I could figure out what apartment can I afford, what car can I make payments on, or maybe even down to the cell phone plan. Different things that you might not have had to worry about, like your own health insurance, stuff like that. You will have to think about, or at least start thinking about after college. And although this can be a little bit stressful because it's money and you don't want to be broke, there are ways to make sure that you stay on top of your bills and that you can live the way you want to. You just have to plan for it.
The seventh thing that is really different between grad school and undergrad is interacting with professors and how they treat you. In undergrad, you're a student, but in grad school, they treat you more like a professional. Already in the first few months of my program, I have had really great conversations with my professors, and it's a really nice feeling. In undergrad, the gap between students and teachers seemed really big at times, but now in grad school, that difference is a little smaller. In grad school, there are so many opportunities to talk with professors about their research and what they've learned and their background, and overall this has been really different compared to undergrad. It's a way to see your professor's craft up close while still being in the structured environment of school.
Another big difference between graduate school and undergraduate is in socializing. So in undergraduate classes, I remember my school had lots of events planned and you would be able to see so many different people at different clubs, and because everyone was living on campus, at least for the first and second years, you'd be able to meet a lot of people, even just day to day. So with graduate courses, the age group is a little bit higher. So I definitely have some older students in my classes, way more so than I did in undergraduate school. And a lot of them are married or they have families and they don't live on campus. So socializing is a bit different because not as many people are in the same geographic location where they're living next to the dining hall or they're living next to the auditorium for different activities there. So with socializing, I've had to reach out to people specifically in my program that I get to see for classes so that I can make sure I know what to study for on a test. I know I'm still getting used to socializing in the given situation that everybody's in right now, so I am hopeful that in the future it will be a little bit more normal and I will be able to make very meaningful connections with people in my program as well as my professors.
Number 9, make sure to reach out to people, whether it's professors or students, to learn from them. Initiate the conversation for whatever platform is appropriate for the program that you're in, whether it's LinkedIn, Slack, email, or something else. Everyone in grad school has such different experiences, and there are so many people you can talk to and learn from. Even just among the students, there are some people who have just finished undergrad, and then there are others who have been working in industry for years and they're in their mid-career stage. Everyone comes from different backgrounds, which means that there are diverse viewpoints and strengths when it comes to conversations, working on projects, or even thinking of ideas. For my program specifically, there is a Slack community of people who are in the program currently, alumni, and faculty. Reaching out is super easy, literally just a Slack message, and it's highly recommended too. All of the people you talk to can help you gain perspective on what to do in the future, give advice, or even introduce you to others. Everyone is very well connected, and grad school in general puts you in contact with a lot of professors and professionals in the field. Overall, I found that there are a lot more opportunities to network professionally in grad school.
Another amazing difference between undergraduate and graduate school is that you are in charge of your own schedule. My classes work around my research assistantship. My research assistantship is how I'm able to have a scholarship for my program. So I have to balance my time between my research assistantship and my courses, and a lot of times the courses that I pick are helpful for my research, and maybe I'll be having my courses with the same professor as my professor that I'm doing research with. So you get to have a lot of say in the courses that you take, versus when you're a freshman, you may be put in classes with professors you don't know because you're new to school, but a lot of times the freshmen, they don't get the first pick on the classes. So even for your second semester as a freshman, you might not have the choice for some of the courses you'll be taking. And as you get higher in your undergraduate career, you'll be able to have more of a say in what courses you take. But I feel that for my graduate school, because the class sizes are smaller and because the school is more invested in you, you get a lot bigger say on your courses that you take, even when it's your first year in your master's degree or your first year in your PhD. So I'm really happy that I am in charge of my own schedule.
Grad school can feel different as compared to undergrad, but overall it's a really great opportunity to learn more. Thank you so much, Liz, for sharing some of your experiences and tips related to grad school.
No problem. Thanks so much for having me.
We also did a video on Liz's channel. Make sure to click right up here to hear about some tips we have for freshmen in computer science. Also check out Liz's channel. I'll make sure to put a link in the description below. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!